one of your visions is to provide more transparency and regulations within this field of aromatherapy. And we discussed some of the challenges already of that, I think, but with these essential oils and physiological effects, that it can be a huge undertaking and seems sometimes impossible. So how have you approached this challenge in your own work in your company?
Well, we're looking for the easiest, we'll just call it the low-hanging fruit, right? We make gel products with aromatherapy that are safe enough for use in healthcare and also functional. We really want to emphasize that safety pedigree because a lot of the aerosols and solid things and, in public restrooms and things like that, they emit a lot of toxic VOCs. You see the use of CRM, that designation, a lot more outside of the USA. And that stands for carcinogenic, reprotoxic, or mutagenic, right? These are three horrible things that can happen to you from exposure to bad VOCs, and thus some synthetic fragrance, have these attributes. And I think you look at places like Germany, they're leading the way on eliminating a lot of these. So in time, we're going to see it. But, you've got a self-regulating industry that doesn't take into account things like bioaccumulation. If you're exposed to a minute quantity of a reprotoxic or a mutagenic compound for day after day after day, when does that chromosome snap and you get cancer? Nobody knows. We don't know these things yet. Yeah. And so if we can look to remove phthalates, parabens, create safe, effective things, we'd like to replace those little solid sticks that are in people's restrooms or, in hotel lobbies, give a better safety profile. Make it really about maintaining, again, here we are at the intersection of health and wellness. If we can bring wellness to the public use of fragrance, both in laundry powders and dishwashing soap and all of these sorts of things, that's really living a healthy lifestyle, and that's taking care of your health in a proactive sense.
And what do smells what do smells that do this, like that you use in your home or something, what do those smells look like for you in terms of composition or creation?
Yeah, well, that's a great point because, we're conditioned to say natural equals safe. The world is filled of natural things that are very unsafe. Mm-hmm. Synthetic, it immediately conjures thoughts of, ooh, this is dangerous. It's made in a lab. It's toxic. And that's not necessarily true either. Everything around us is chemistry. And if you saw the name of the smell of a strawberry, you'd be like, oh my God, I don't want that anywhere near me. This is some horrible chemical. And it's how we are limited in describing the scent of a strawberry, right? So I don't really know the answer. I'm a seeker of the answer. But how does one transmit the knowledge and thought that a product is safe to a consumer who doesn't have a PhD in chemistry, right? I'm looking for the answer.
Yeah, because usually the back of packages, they have these very abstract pictures on them of the hazards or the safety guidelines or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And
which are difficult to navigate.
And even worse in the US, at least, the ingredient on the label will say fragrance. And that's a soup of whatever you want. It doesn't need to be disclosed. So I think you look at companies like SC Johnson is trying to disclose. There was a cosmetics company called Fleur. I think they got acquired, but they disclosed. And it was a great step, but the disclosure was too complex. And you look at like EWG, they have a 1 through 5, and they look at it and they make a pretty decent judgment. But when the label line is fragrance, what can you really say, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to work every day to make products that people can trust, because we can show that somehow we proved safety. You know, we've talked about the safety organization, and, you know, you have to face the fact that over the last 40 years, they haven't done a great job at protecting consumers. So it's to each of us, you know, to take control of your individual wellness and make it a part of your healthcare, you know, kind of circling back to their opening lines. It's health and wellness are inseparable.